Hey everybody, Modern World Emporium here, and for today's video, we are covering another amazing video from HL Talk That Thought. I will have a link to the original video in the description if you'd like to go check it out without my commentary. If you could please like and subscribe to my channel, it helps me a ton. So let's get right into today's video.
In the 16 years since I've been divorced, I have dated a little bit and I've had a few long-term relationships, one of which was with a complete narcissist and con artist. This person did a lot of really terrible things, and as it turns out, he was doing it to at least 9 other women that I'm aware of. I felt so stupid and that I should have known better, and like I didn't trust myself. Coming out of this forced me to take a really hard look at my life, and I decided it was time for a change. It was time for me to rediscover who I was and rebuild my life, this time the way I wanted it. This pushed me to heal and do some of the inner work that I so needed to do. Since then, I have rediscovered who I am and learned the tools that I can use to create my life full of passion and purpose. These are the tools that I use and share with other women to help them as they are going through similar things. So if you're in this space of going through a breakup or divorce, or just trying to rediscover who you are, follow along.
For somebody who has supposedly rediscovered themselves and is just whole new person and a whole new coat of paint on you, she literally looks dead inside. First off, I absolutely do not buy the beginning part of this video. I'm sure he was a narcissist. I'm sure it really was 9 other women. I'm sure, he managed to pull this off for so long without you noticing. But really, we know exactly what happened here. This man more than likely didn't live up to her absolutely atrocious and inflated standards, so she had to come up with some absolutely ludicrous story as to why he secretly was a piece of shit this entire time and how he was doing all these horrendous and abusive things and she just never noticed it. Really crazy.
Misery loves company. These modern women usually divorce their husband for absolutely no good reasons most of the time, thinking that they could do better. Then, they try to form these little fake groups of support so that they can keep lying to each other to feel good. Fellas, I know how hard it is to have tried your best to make things work, but then she leaves just because she wasn't happy. Trust me when I say that your value can only go up when you put in the work. And 9 out of 10, your ex will not do better than you. Check it out.
I feel like he nailed this perfectly here. It is just a collage of women lying. These women will literally form these really shitty Facebook groups or these Pinterest groups where they quite literally just lie to each other. There's only so many husbands that can be narcissists and abusers and all this other stuff before it starts to just look like it's a club of people who want to fit in.
Hi world, it's my first TikTok and I have a really pressing question. I have been divorced for a couple of years after 33 years of marriage, and here's what I gotta know. Does it get easier? Because it's starting to feel like the whole purpose of dating is to go out with strange men to endure really awful things in order to come home and create crazy TikTok stories. I mean, somebody tell me there's more to this than that.
I absolutely have zero sympathy for this woman. She decided to get a divorce after 33 years of marriage. Then, want more now? More of what exactly? That's insane.
I think it's absolutely insane that she gave herself away right in the middle of this clip where she says, "Oh, is this all really just to come make funny little TikTok videos?" For most women, yes, it is. You should never date a woman involved in any form of social media creation because this is the fate that you will endure. You will have your name dragged online. She will make up ridiculous made-up scenarios about how horrible you were. And a lot of the times, these women will go out on multiple dates and essentially throw them or make them bad on purpose so they have content for their little shitty TikTok account. It is disgusting, it's horrible, and it is a disservice to any man, to himself, to date a woman that is like this.
Now, This next woman has been pumped and dumped so much by Chad and Tyrone to the point of losing her mind and accepting the side chick title.
You're probably going to think I'm crazy, but I think situationships are wonderful, especially the ones that absolutely break your heart. And the reason I think that is because they are a masterclass in self-love.
Before we finish this clip of her trying to explain what we all know will make no sense, I'm going to show you one of her previous clip so that you can have an idea of where she is coming from.
Holy cope, Batman. That's absolutely insane to think this way. Anyone who has to lie to you and tell you that being basically somebody's sex object it's like a great thing, they are so mentally damaged from being run through by so many Chads and Tyrones, like he says, that they just can't even think straight anymore. It is best to just not take any advice from these women at all, especially if you are a single woman yourself. Just steer clear of these people. They are not worth your time.
If you are coming out of a long-term relationship or marriage and about to enter the dating world, listen to my story so that maybe you can stop yourself from doing all the stupid things that I did. So when I first met my ex-husband, I was 16, and the way dating worked back then was I liked him, he liked me, so we started dating, we still liked each other, so we got married. Little did I know that in the 2020s, that is not how dating works. And because my marriage had been particularly miserable the last few years, getting out of the relationship felt like getting out of jail. I've never been in jail, but I have family members who have, and from what I've seen, it is a time period of excess. And like those family members, I wanted the excess. I wanted to kiss all the boys, I wanted all of the validation and the attention, and what that actually meant was that I was nowhere near ready to date. Because when you're in that mindset, you end up attracting and dating the wrong man. But because I was so innocent, I thought that dating in my 40s in 2021 was the same as dating in my teens in 1996. So I instantly got into a situationship. I did not know what a situationship was. I thought that if a man liked me enough to date me and to sleep with me, then he liked me enough to be my boyfriend. It's honestly kind of cute now how stupid I was, but that's not how dating works. There are plenty of men that will take you out on dates, that will tell you you're amazing, that will have mind-blowing sex with you, and then act like you don't exist. And so I was so used to being somebody's wife that I thought if I just show what a great wife I can be, they'll love me. If you hear one thing, don't do that. I can cook for you, I can clean for you, I can plan things for you, I can support you, I can be your therapist. All it did was keep the wrong guy around longer, which will zap you of any and all self-worth. I'm baby Gen X, I'm the last of the generation, and we were never taught how to find a compatible partner or how to have self-love and self-worth. So I had to teach myself that. And one of the first things I learned was what love was not.
Oh my fucking god, shut the fuck up. This woman has been fucking complaining for 2.5 minutes straight about nothing. First off, what do you mean dating is different now? Like, of course it is. Like, standards that have been changed by women like you are the reason that dating is in the current state that it is. This woman literally just sits here and she tries to make excuse after excuse after excuse that she literally went out and got boned by tons of men as soon as she got divorced. But we all know the reality of the situation. She did this pretty much on her own free will, and now that she has realized that this will not secure her the bag or a man, she now has to try and blame men and say it's their fault and they are the ones doing bad by her. Second off, I want to just ask this question. Why does she look like an animatronic out of the Five Nights at Freddy's series with the really odd head movements in this video? I understand there's some jump cuts, but it's just very concerning, honestly. Second off, she is just a disgusting person here. She claims that the last couple of years of her marriage were like a prison, but we all know what that really means she went online, started making her TikToks, and got brainwashed by other women that were upset online into thinking that her marriage was just as shitty as theirs. So she just took it and went with it, divorced her husband, left him out in the cold, and now realized that men realize when you do this kind of shit, it stays on you like a permanent record in school. And that is why nobody in their right mind would ever date an absolutely insane, psychotic lunatic like this woman.
No matter how good it feels, it's not mind-blowing sex. It's not sweet words with no actions to back them up. It's not an unwillingness to commit or indecisiveness or uncertainty. And it's not butterflies in my stomach and weak in my knees. That's actually anxiety. I stayed with the guy who ignored me. I stayed with the guy who was hot and cold. I stayed with the emotionally unavailable guy. I stayed with the guy who was still in love with his ex. But looking back, I now realize that that was all necessary for me to grow up. And when we know better, we do better.
Basically, she is your typical divorcee baggage collector from Chad. We are going to continue with her more recent video, but I want you to remember the last words she said: when we know better, we do better.
You're probably going to think I'm crazy, but I think situationships are wonderful, especially the ones that absolutely break your heart. And the reason I think that is because they are a masterclass in self-love. You see, when you're picking someone and you're giving your heart to someone, your energy, your time, your attention, your affection, and they're enjoying all those gifts and not meeting you halfway, you're forced to choose. Do you keep giving that love to someone who doesn't treasure it, who doesn't want to keep it safe? Or do you finally choose to love yourself? And most of us, once we get through the heartbreak, we pick ourselves. That failed love story becomes the greatest teacher. We start working on ourselves to heal the parts of us that accepted less than we deserved.
I realized this woman was really dumb from the very first moment that she started speaking, but I had no idea it was actually this bad. She is clearly in some kind of critical condition from some kind of brain injury, because no human being with a functioning brain would say anything like this. This is pure cope. This is getting your head smashed against the bed frame from Tyrone far too many times to think critically. This is just disgusting behavior and disgusting advice for other young women. Please, for all the women that do watch the channel, because there actually is a fair amount of you, please do not take the advice of any of these women. They are bored, lonely, divorced, and they can't think straight because they're just so blown through. And with that, I am going to cut the video here, guys. Thank you so much for checking out my video today. Please like and subscribe. And thank you to HL Talk That Thought for the original piece of content. Please go check out his video. It'll be in the description. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. See ya.